Welcome to Ultimate Autographs. If you were looking for the internet's most exciting and interactive live break room, then you have come to the right place. We are opening live break mystery boxes featuring the biggest names from across the sports world every single day. If you're new to breaking with us, we can help break it down and make it as easy to understand as possible. First, head over to the live break page and look for a series that suits your interests. Most of our series will have 8 spots, which represent the 8 NFL divisions, but other sports breaks or mixers may vary. If you purchase one spot, that means you have a 1 in 8 chance to win that item at an extremely discounted rate. Next, click Add to Cart to purchase your live break spot. Once you've completed your checkout, tune into the next available Live Breaks broadcast on Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube at noon, 3, or 6 p.m. Central Time any day of the week. As you watch, you will see your name appear on the screen when your specific break begins. Your name will go into the randomizer and will be randomized a specific amount of times based on that evening's dice roll number. Once randomization is over, the list of names of people that bought into that live break will be matched up with a specific division. If the item that is pulled from the mystery box matches your division, congratulations, you just won an incredible piece of signed memorabilia. Want to guarantee yourself an item as opposed to testing your luck? Some of the series that you see on the live break page can be purchased under the mystery box tab of our website. Those boxes could either be shipped directly to your door or open live on the air before being sent to you. While you are there, make sure to sign up for our Signature Points Club. This exclusive club earns you points toward specific discounts, signed items, or exclusive events each and every time you buy at ultimateautographs.com. The moment you have been waiting for has come. Let's break some signed memorabilia.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome into the Ultimate Autographs live break room here in Burr Ridge, Illinois, just outside of Chicago. Chinmay and Rob here with you for the noon show. First thing right off the bat, it's a big Saturday here in the sports world. I'm rocking the Missouri Tigers hat. Rob's got the school that shall not be named out west on his hoodie, and we'll discuss that game and so much more on this show to get this Saturday started with college football kicking off here just an hour or so ago. Arch Manning and Texas starting to pull away a little bit in a game that they really need to have a good showing to get going. But my Tigers and those birds from out west will be kicking off right around 2:30, just after 2:30 local time, and that should be a nice renewal of the border war. I got a Mizzou Arizona State money line parlay locked in.
Okay.
Plus 105 there on for those interested in tailing that, and those interested in wagering. I have my last few wagers have been hit or miss. I missed on Jalen Hurts over 1.5 pass touchdowns, but I got Travis Kelce anytime touchdown.
Very nice.
Yesterday. So
very nice.
Decent start to the NFL season. Happy to hit on Kelce after missing on Hurts. Went 1-on-1 last week on college football. I got LSU. I took LSU spread. They ended up winning. I took Texas money line. They ended up losing. So it all balances out in a way. But got back in my boys,
there
and
you
then
go.
Hopefully Arizona State can take care of Mississippi State in the primetime game. But we got plenty of stuff here.
Oh yeah.
In the Ultimate Autographs live break room for folks to get after here in this noon show. We'll start off by setting up the show. We'll start off with the dice rolls. So it was 7 in the last show. So what do you think we'll have this time around?
All right, so I'm gonna go with number 9. Go with a mini Minoso number 9.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna as always roll with 8. 4 is not gonna do it, so it needs to be 6 or higher.
6 and 3.
8.
8. There it is.
It'll be 8.
That
8 will be the dice roll.
That might be a epic foreshadowing of luck for your for your Mizzou boys out on the field today.
Yeah,
So
hopefully.
Really
Hopefully
quick
it
about
works
your
out that way.
really quick, since we're diving into your wagering history here,
Okay.
as we'll put it. Did you happen to back Mizzou spread week 1?
I did not.
Because that would have been the no sweats of no sweats.
Yeah,
if,
I would not. I wouldn't. I did not. But I also know that our coach Eli Drinkwitz is very in tune with what the spread is. He's very in tune with what the spread is. The man knows.
Yeah, and so is the arguably the face of Ultimate Autographs and Comment and Share. Also is very in tune with spreads as well, especially with his former alma mater. As I was, my debut show was actually him sweating that out.
Oh, okay.
So not only was I trying to learn the ins and outs of the break rooms, I was also trying to learn the ins and outs of his betting intricacies as well.
All right, yeah.
So-
Yeah. We'll go through a top to bottom rundown of everything we've got here, all the series that we've got, headliners that we've got. But we'll start out with we got one more thing to do before we get to that. Let's go to the wheel for the Chase wheel spin. It was the kickoff in the last show. It did not happen because we did not do any breaks in the kickoff flex series. But let's see what we'll have here in the noon show. Looks like it's going to be depth chart. Okay, depth chart. Depth chart is a very interesting series, a very interesting concept that we've got going on here in the break room. But depth chart will be the chase for the noon show. And we'll take a quick look at the depth chart here in the on the live break page. So the way the depth chart works is you see the headliner items, you see the photoed headliner items, and the way this works is you're going to be able to, if you get a headliner item, you get a headliner item. There's no spins being awarded there. But if you don't win a headliner item, and 24 boxes, 14 headliners, so there's a chance that you don't win a headliner item. But if you don't win a headliner item, we move you over to this wheel, this upgrade wheel here. And basically, there are 3 tiles that are going to be on this wheel. The first tile is a backup tile, and that basically means that you keep the item. There's no upgrade, but you keep the item that you won. The blue tile is a signing bonus, so you keep the item that you won, and in addition, you get a $75 gift card that you can use at Ultimate Autographs, jump right back into the breaks. And there's also the starter tile, and that is the upgrade tile. So what happens there is the item that you originally won will be put away, put back into inventory. No one else can win that item. That won't be in that same series. It'll cycle back through, but we will upgrade you to a starter level, headliner level item based on the number that letter that you choose, the box that you choose. Once, if indeed you do spin and land on that upgrade item. So that's how the depth chart will work. If we close out that break, or if we close out those breaks, and in addition to all that stuff, you would get your name in the Chase wheel spin. But plenty of headliners in the depth chart. Justin Jefferson and Deion Sanders. It looks like those are the mini helmets. Edgerrin James on the slate as well for the Colts. The Jerome Bettis jersey is still available. We've seen a lot of Bettis in the break room. That jersey's still available. Tyreek Hill and Ndamukong Suh, Rondé Barber, Devontae Adams, all the speed flexes in the photoed headliners still available. There could be more speed flexes in that upgrade section. We don't know what the nature of those helmets are in that upgrade section. Could be speed flexes hiding out in there. Jamar Chase and Abdul Carter in the photoed headliners as well. Michael Vick, Ricky Williams, and Andre Reed in that listed headliner section, not photoed. So again, depth chart, if you win any of those headliner items, that's the deal. You get the headliner item, but if you win a non-headliner item, you have a chance to upgrade to a different item, which is of headliner value. It won't be one of the listed headliners. There's a separate section of headliners for the upgraded folks, if we do in fact spin and get you that upgrade. So that's the depth chart in the break room. We'll go top to bottom here. We'll start out with the diamonds, and in the diamonds we've got 25 boxes in the diamonds, so still pretty loaded in that diamond series. 12 headliner items. The Randy Moss Straight Cash Homie Speed Flex. Randy Moss Straight Cash Homie Speed Flex. I don't know if the inscription is on there. It doesn't look like it. It might be on the other side of the photo. But that is the prized item in this break. That is still available. The LT Salute to Service is still available. Julio Jones still available. The Washington 3 quarterbacks, Theismann, Williams, and Rippon. That Speed Flex, it's the Salute to Service Speed Flex. But as you can see, plenty of signatures there, plenty of inscriptions as well on those. I believe it says Super Bowl MVP for Rippon and for Doug Williams. That's still available. Warren Moon on the Speed Flex. Nice custom decal for Warren Moon. I believe he's got a Hall of Fame inscription on there. So Warren Moon, Speed Flex with the inscription. Josh Allen, the reigning MVP for the Buffalo Bills. That Speed Flex also available. Baker Mayfield on the Bucks Creamsicle available. And George Kittle and Bo Nix also available in the photoed headliner section. Again, the diamonds, authentics are better in every box. Secondary headliners, Ndamukong Suh, Eddie George, and Luke Kuechly. Derek, welcome back in the chat. Saying welcome back to me and Rob. Derek, welcome back. Glad to have you along for the noon show. We're just going through what's available here in the break room, starting off with this Diamond series.
Yeah, welcome back, Derek. Go Blue, brother. Go Blue, as the Michigan man in the chat today. And Chimney, it seems like the wheel is starting to work its wonders already as Mark is bought back into the depth chart.
Okay.
So Mark looking to a little bit of early domination in the depth chart. So now down to 6 spots available left for that. So yeah, we had a couple of the mini helmets to start off, but a lot of variety in the depth chart.
Yeah.
So definitely, if you want to get back into a certain break that has a lot of variance to it, that's definitely the one that's going to be available for that. So a lot of looking to get a lot of different breaks here during this 12 o'clock slate. I'm a betting man as well, and I would be willing to bet that the huddle up double break is
That vault, yeah.
That vault is gonna go.
Yeah, we'll get to the vault. We'll get to the vault in a little bit.
Yeah, and then the jerseys possibly as well as they're about to go through.
Yeah. I just want to highlight this kickoff series as Charles says he has a helmet like that Washington triple signed, but it has the Redskins logo on it. Charles, I've seen some helmets here that we've gotten that have the Redskins logo. There was a Dion Speed Flex with the Redskins logo. It was a very salute to service, decked out military. Yeah, I'll try to find a picture of it if I still have it.
Sounds like it feels like a rare.
Very rare, yeah. It had like Marines, Air Force, Army, Navy, it had all the patches on there. A very much a salute to service, but a Speed Flex and a very different look. Speaking of Speed Flexes, the kickoff Speed Flex helmet series is loaded with Speed Flexes. You have Josh Allen, Terrell Davis, Tom Brady. The Bucs Speed Flex is gone, but the Patriots Speed Flex is still available. Ray Lewis, Bo Jackson, Michael Irvin, Jared Goff on the ripped Cal Lions Speed Flex. Nico Collins on sort of the silver chrome Texans Speed Flex. Darrelle Revis on an awesome custom Jets Speed Flex helmet. Bo Nix and George Kittle also available. So plenty of the photoed headliners in this Speed Flex series still available. And I'm gonna pull up the video here real quick of that Josh Allen because it's got a great. It's a salute to service Speed Flex, but it's got a great visor there with a picture of Josh Allen there. Eddie George, Josh Jacobs, and Antonio Gates in the listed headliners there. But let me try to kind of pause this and get a. You see, it's got Josh Allen written there, and then it's also got salute to service on the visor. Got a nice little camo background with Josh Allen's picture there in the front. That is really clean and one of the coolest visors that we've seen here at UA. Normally it's just the standard color, but this one's been decked out a little bit.
I know you're going to get into this in a little bit, but very similar to the Warren Moon design on the visor as well. So. Going into that box though, into that break overall, some of the most aesthetically pleasing helmets that we currently have available. So if you're a fan of MVPs, if you're a fan of quarterbacks, if you're a fan of both,
if you're a fan of MVP quarterbacks on Speedflex helmets,
that's
the break for you.
Yep, can't find that anywhere else.
Derek has a 4-leg parlay on the game tonight. One of the legs is either Michigan spread or Michigan money line. But what are the other 3? I want to know. I know what one of them is, but I need to know the other ones. This break on your guys' screen, the practice squad right now, that John Elway jersey still available in the practice squad. But what I want to highlight here in this break is just the value. We talk about the diamonds. A lot of people love the diamond series, and rightfully so. Plenty of stuff in the diamond series. But if you're talking about pure value, a spot in the practice squad is $50. To walk away with an authentic or a Speedflex helmet for $50 does not happen in any other break. You may not get it, but to walk away with that kind of value for just $50, this is the biggest bang for your buck in terms of value. I remember a time not too long ago when it was rare to see an authentic helmet in the practice squad. And now we regularly see multiple authentic helmets and multiple Speedflex helmets in the practice squad. In terms of authentics and Speedflexes for this practice squad, the Trey McBride authentic, this is a salute to service authentic, and Rob is a Cardinals fan, so hopefully we can get this break going and pull out that helmet here for him. Ed Reed on the Miami authentic, the Hurricanes' big win in week 1 over Notre Dame. Malik Neighbors on the mini helmet, the Slate Giants mini. Mike Allstott on the Speedflex, and he's got the Fire the Cannons inscription in that sweet spot on the Speedflex. Michael Vick is available on the Eagles Speedflex, and then in the listed headliners, Chad Johnson and Odell Beckham Jr. available in the practice squad. Rob was talking about the vault. 3 spots to go in that vault double, and I will pull up what is left in the vault here. The Mahomes and the Bettis are gone. And I believe, there's 2 Mahomes videos, it looks like. The Mahomes and the Bettis are gone. But the LaDainian Tomlinson Speedflex is still available. Let's pull the LT out there. He's got the MVP inscription as well on the helmet there. It's the alt helmet that they wear with the powder blues. LT is one of my favorite athletes, if not my favorite athlete growing up. Let's get that LT out there. Charles says he wants the Michael Vick. Charles, only 3 spots left in the double. If you want to close out that break or get it moving, get chipping away, that's a spot to be. And again, only 10 boxes left in the vault. 4 headliners available. Oh, sorry, that's the practice squad. The Michael Vick he was talking about is in the practice squad. My bad.
Correct.
If you want the Michael Vick, jump in the practice squad. Michael Vick is not in the vault. At least not among the listed headliners. Michael Vick is not available.
And then once you jump in the practice squad, hop back in the vault.
Yeah, hop back in the vault after getting the Michael Vick in the practice squad.
Make your rounds, Charles.
Jamison Williams and Terrell Suggs in the listed headliners section in the vault. Derek, we know, Michigan man, a Lions fan.
Yep.
Jamison Williams available in this vault series. Only 4 boxes to go. We still have a $100 vault key available as well. So if you miss out on a headliner item, there's a possibility that you get that $100 gift card to jump back into the live breaks here at UA. But 10 boxes left in that vault, 3 boxes left in that, 4 headliners left in those 10 boxes. Wow, Derek, not a game result in the parlay. It's all player props.
I love it. Yeah,
interesting.
That's where I like to usually try to make some hay. Is the player prop thing, just because especially when it comes to spreads and things like that. It's I have a very, very bad habit of getting backdoor covered, or and not in a positive way either. So I can't blame Derek for that at all.
Take a quick look at the minis here, the Wildcat minis. Jerome Bettis on the Slate Steelers lid still available. Rondé Barber and Justin Jefferson and Brian Dawkins available as well. Ty Law, Abdul Carter, and John Elway on the Hall of Fame Salute to Service helmet. Only the Brock Bowers, Eric Dickerson, and Michael Irvin have been pulled. All the other photoed headliners in the minis, which is automatic double box break. We automatically open 2 boxes if you jump in the minis. Those breaks are all those headliner items outside of Bowers, Dickerson, and Irvin available in the minis. And Rob was talking about the jerseys. Jordan chimed in here. Let's get the jerseys closed. We are, I believe, 5 spots to go in the jerseys. Yep, 5 spots to go. We pulled a Jack Ham jersey in the 9 a.m. show, but Aaron Donald, Brett Favre on the Vikings jersey, Brian Urlacher and Odell Beckham Jr. in the photoed headliner still available. Frank Gore, Jimmy Smith, Steve Largent available in the listed headliners for the jerseys. Again, 18 boxes in the jerseys, 7 either photoed or listed headliners. And, knowing my luck, that Favre Urlacher has a very good chance of being pulled because I'm a Packers fan. That's a very, very good, very mysterious way how things work in the break room here. The Packers fan always pulls the Vikings, Lions, and Bears stuff. That's just the way it works.
I'd love to see that happen, but we won't be able to unless you guys get involved into the break room today.
Yeah, you guys drive the show. You guys determine what gets opened up here, what gets bought into, what gets broken. So if you see an item, like Charles is thinking about that Michael Vick, if you see an item that you really want, you want to break closed, hop in the chat, try to rally people, get break started yourself. That's how we open things up here. It's dependent on what you guys want to do.
Yep.
and how you guys want the show to go. You have any questions about what's in series? You have any questions about how the depth chart works? That is the chase for the noon show. Happy to answer those as we get going here in the afternoon slate.
Now,
Derek is saying he does have a 4-leg money line for tomorrow. Jags, Bucks, Lions, and Bills. Well, unfortunately, that Lions money line is looking a little shaky at the moment. But I do like the Bucks, and I also like the Bills. I think the Ravens have a better overall roster, but I think that game will be down to the wire. I do, and Buffalo at home with the reigning MVP. I do believe that game will come down to the wire. So again, 2 toss-up games, really, right? Lions and Bills. It's a couple toss-up games, but I think the Jags, I'm not too sure on. The Panthers looked really good at the end of last season, but I'll take the Bucks over the Falcons. I feel pretty good about that one. But yeah, Jags are interesting, but that Lions one looking a little shaky there for you.
Yeah, Derek, just reading that comment there of the what Chinmay was just going over. All I see is a winner. That's all I'm seeing right here. That's the only thing that I can read. It's the only word that I see.
Never
on the screen
doubt the
here.
Kings of the North. Okay, all right.
So,
All
but
right,
I mean,
we'll see who the King of the North.
But
is.
Overall, just looking at that for the Jags. I would honestly lay the points with Carolina just because they're at 3.5, especially if they go up higher. Jags money line at home. There's again one of those we talked about in the 9 a.m. show for those that are rejoining us. Chinmay and I, we were talking about my Arizona Cardinals, the San Francisco Giants. Wrong sport. The New York Football Giants, but also the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah.
Liam Cohen coming in as the head coach, looking to revitalize Trevor Lawrence's career. Obviously, Travis Hunter with all the buzz that he has. How much is he going to be utilized on both sides of the ball? Brian Thomas Jr., the second best rookie wide receiver in last year's class behind Malik Neighbors. But the defense is going to be a question mark, especially the Jacksonville secondary. But we'll see. They definitely could make some noise in a very weak AFC South. And then, Bucks and Falcons. The Bucks have, I don't know if you've been seeing this, Chinmay, but a lot of Bucks to the bowl.
Yeah.
Buzz.
A lot of momentum.
A lot of momentum for the Bucks and, and Baker and everything like that. I'm going to be a big Bucks guy because my number 2 wide receiver in my main fantasy league, Emeka Egbuka.
Okay.
Looking to see a breakout performance from him. Would love to see it against the Falcons secondary tomorrow to start things off. But again, Falcons at home, and plus week 1 is always just so unpredictable.
Yeah.
We saw an opening night. We thought that, Philly was just going to roll. They were going to cruise, from their title defense. And, it was a game that Dallas probably should have won. And, but yeah, I'm actually be interested to maybe talk with you by the end of the show to see maybe if you and I can come up with something and see what, maybe something for tomorrow. See what lines that you have in mind for tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, house money bet. All right. We love the house money bets. Yeah. No big deal. No big deal but you want to win.
Always
you always want to win.
Got to have that mentality.
You always want to win. But yeah, maybe if the Lions don't pull through, you can chalk it up as just a house money bet. So where do we want to go here? The jerseys are 5 to go. The vault double 3 to go. Those are the closest breaks to happening. The vault single is also 5 to go. You don't want to get in that double. You want to get in the vault single, slightly lower price point. That vault single also 5 to go. So vault double, jerseys, vault single. That's where you want to go if you're looking at a break that's about to close. Charles is asking, how does the depth chart work? Okay, Charles. So the depth chart, we have a listed headliner section. That's going to be the headliner items. So if you win one of the headliner items, there will be no further spinning that goes on. That's it. You win the headliner item. Straightforward. If you win a non-headliner item, we'll take you to this wheel. And what this wheel is basically a chance for you to get something in addition to that item or upgrade that item to a headliner level item. It won't be one of the headliners that's listed. It will be from a separate group of players. So there are 3 tiles on this wheel. The backup landing means no upgrade. You get to keep the item that you won. The signing bonus means that you keep the item that you won. You also get a $75 gift card that you can use at Ultimate Autographs. The upgrade means that we will take the non-headliner item that was won. We will throw it back into inventory, so nobody else will get that in that break or in that series. And we will upgrade you to a headliner level item. It won't be one of the listed headliners, but it'll be a headliner level item, and you will pick a box number from the boxes available. You will pick a letter, and we will give you that box instead of the item that you won originally in the break. So you have an opportunity to upgrade, but if you win, you still get something. You either get that item, you get that item with some gift card money, or you upgrade from that item to a headliner level item. Mark is chiming in with the chat. Yeah, depth chart, really neat break. Really interesting concept that we've come up here for this break. And there's still 25 boxes left, 24 boxes left, Mark. 24 boxes left, 14 headliners. So, there's plenty of headliners there, but if you miss out on a headliner, there's an opportunity to upgrade. The Barry Sanders that was in the upgraded items wasn't authentic. That's what Derek is saying. All the upgrade items that you would get are headliner worthy. I can tell you who is available in the upgraded items. Travis Hunter, John Elway, Emmitt Smith, Randy Moss, Bo Nix, Dick Butkus, and Marshall Faulk. All who would be headliners in any series that we have in the UA Live break room. So if you land on that upgrade tile, again, you land on this upgrade tile when we spin the starter upgrade tile, you would upgrade the item that you won, as long as it's not a headliner. If it's a headliner item, that we won't go to this wheel. But if it's a non-headliner item, we go to the wheel. If you land on that upgrade tile, you get a chance to upgrade to a headliner level item. And as I just listed off, all those names that I listed off, they're headliners in any series that we have at Ultimate Autographs. So really interesting series, as Mark mentioned. And not to mention, it's also the Chase wheel spin. So you get in there, we close out a break, you get a chance at another gift card. If you don't get one through the depth chart break, you get a chance at a gift card at the end of the show with the Chase wheel spin. So plenty of opportunities there in the depth chart series.
Yeah, I mean, Mark took the words out of your mouth, out of my mouth, but you hear of the phrase win-win. This is a win-win-win. Yeah. And like you said, Chinmay, ton of opportunities available. 25 boxes left. Let's help out our man Mark. 6 spots available left in that depth chart right there. So a lot of opportunities still available to be had here on the Ultimate Autograph Show for our noon show currently going on right now. So 2 spots available or 3 spots, I should say, in the double break vault. 6 spots left in the depth chart, and then the jerseys also have 5 spots left. So magic number always down to 3. So maybe focusing a little bit towards the vault there if you guys want to get the quickest possible way to close out the next up and coming break to have here. So looking to definitely break open some more boxes there. I know you guys tuning in here on Twitch, YouTube, wherever you might be tuning in from to spend your Saturday afternoon with us. But we have a lot of boxes that are nearly stacked to the ceiling here in the studio today. So we're looking to minimize the tower here in the break room of boxes. And we can't do that without the help of you guys. And obviously, as Chinmay, you said not too long ago, but for those just tuning in, of course, you guys drive the show day in and day out. So all it takes is one person to start the charge, and that's going to just lead the open up the floodgates for everyone else.
And as you know, as Derek mentioned, the winner of that Barry Sanders when he upgraded from a jersey. So that's a big upgrade.
That's huge.
That happens.
That's
and
huge.
You know, that jersey will go back into inventory. It'll come up in a different break. Somewhere down the line, it'll come up in a different series, but. You know, the chance to upgrade is big in that depth chart if you don't get a headliner item. So great opportunity as several have mentioned in the chat and as we've talked about. So go ahead, jump into that depth chart series. Again, 6 spots to go in that double. 6 spots to go in that double for the depth chart. I will drop in the live break page here for you guys. This is where you can... get your spots to get into the breaks. You can check out all the series that are going on. You can check out all the items that we have in the break room and see what breaks you'd like to get into here on this Saturday afternoon.
Is there a specific helmet that you want to see pulled out of that death chart break there, or?
So there's obviously the Davante Adams speed flex on the Rams and the Tyreek Hill speed flex on the Dolphins. Those are pretty nice. I kind of want to see what the Ricky Williams is. He's always got some marijuana related inscriptions or something with his with his memorabilia. So I'm interested to see what he's got there. As far as the upgraded items go, it's got to be Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter has been fairly regular in the break room. Actually, we've been very fortunate to be able to secure some Travis Hunter items. So I want to see Travis Hunter, but of course Tyreek Hill and Davante Adams. Those are the guys. As far as just in general in the break room, the Randy Moss straight cash homie speed flex, and the LaDainian Tomlinson MVP speed flex. Those are the ones that I want to see. Here in the break room, that vault again, 3 to go in that vault double. So that vault double is very close to closing, and that's what has the LT Speed Flex as well as the George Kittle authentic. Quick score check here for you on this college football Saturday. Texas pulling away now from San Jose State. The Longhorns are up 28-7. With just over 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. Penn State in a little bit of a dogfight here with Florida International. 10-0 at halftime in favor of the Nittany Lions. The Cyclones in the Cy-Hawk Bowl. The Cyclones have a 13-3 lead on Iowa with just under 2 minutes to go in the first half. Illinois in a little bit of a fight with Duke. Illinois up 14-6 on the Duke Blue Devils with just over 2 minutes to go in the first half. SMU and Baylor, plenty of points in this one. SMU leads Baylor 24-21. They are about to go to halftime here, just about 30 seconds left in the first half of that game. Florida State up 49-0 on East Tennessee. Texas Tech up 41-0 on Kent State. Texas A&M, a sleeper team in the SEC that many have thought. They're up 10-6 on Utah State at the end of the first quarter. So that's going to be an interesting one to watch as well. That's the early games featuring some ranked teams. Mark McAdams, is Ed Reed still alive in the practice squad? Yes, Ed Reed is still available in the practice squad. Mark, Ed Reed's still available, and that is on the U helmet for Ed Reed there in the practice squad.
Right during the college score update too.
We've also got the women's U.S. Open final.
Yep.
That'll be teeing off here as we get going at 3 p.m. for the 3 p.m. show here. The women's final will be teeing off a rematch of the Wimbledon rematch of the Wimbledon semifinal between Sabalenka and Anisimova. Anisimova pulled off the upset of Sabalenka at Wimbledon. Hopefully, she can pull it off again in the U.S. Open final after she defeated Iga Swiatek in the semifinal to avenge some of the sting that she felt in the Wimbledon final. Hopefully she can do the double this time. She pulled off the upset in the semifinal at Wimbledon, but lost in the final. I don't want her to, again, pull off an upset in the semi and then lose in the final. Hopefully she can get the job done here with 2 wins. Derek saying he will root for the college that uses the Packers G. Go Grambling. Okay, yes. Georgia also uses the Packers G. So yeah, Georgia, Grambling, and Green Bay all using that same logo.
Pretty good franchise to model yourself after.
Yep. So what's it gonna be, guys? What's it gonna be here in the to start off this noon show? Again, 3 to go in that vault double, 5 to go in the vault single, 5 to go in the jerseys. Those are the closest breaks to closing. But again, Mark talking about the practice squad. Charles was talking about the practice squad earlier, that Ed Reed, that Michael Vick. You see something else you like, go ahead, jump into those breaks. Try to rally the chat. Try to get people moving to jump into those breaks and close them out.
And we are gaining momentum thanks to Mr. Todd Meyer buying back in with 3 break spots in the jersey break.
Okay.
So we are now down to 2 spots available.
2 to go. 2 to go in the jersey break. 2 to go in that jersey break, and 3 to go in that vault double. So, thank you, Todd. Appreciate you jumping in there. Let's help Todd out, close out that jersey break. $29 a spot. Still 4 photoed headliners and 3 secondary headliners available in that jersey break.
I'm gonna become a big Todd Meyer fan today. He had the only break during our 9 a.m. show, won that Jack Ham jersey earlier on, and I also responsible just because of the first name that happened to pop up. Those that were not tuning into the 9 a.m. show, I was telling Chinmay, I was like, I need a sign today of what my meal plan is going to be. I woke up a little bit late, was running very late this morning, didn't have a chance to make anything for breakfast, and Jack Ham pops up. So thank you, Todd, for filling my stomach later. I appreciate it. So looking to get back possibly into the Jersey series, now down to those 2 final spots. So is there a preference, or is there a certain jersey that you are hoping to see once we hopefully get that break open here during the noon show?
Yeah, I'd prefer to not see the Urlacher or the Favre. I think that's fair to say. I don't want to pull it, but I know that a lot of people would be interested in those. But let's go with Aaron Donald. I like Aaron Donald. I've always been a big fan of Aaron Donald. He's been clear cut Hall of Fame defensive lineman. I know a lot of Bears fans wanted him, but the Rams, I think, traded up 1 spot ahead of the Bears to take him. So let's get Aaron Donald out here.
Yeah, made the final play of I believe that was Super Bowl 56. I believe that was 56 or 57 against Cincinnati. Like you said, first ballot Hall of Famer, first ballot human being too. Has won the Walter Payton Man of the Year award, I believe, on multiple occasions. Multiple time All Pro, one of the best defensive players of the modern era. So very, very good selection there. But Chinmay, do you mind just pulling up the what the jerseys look like here for not only the people at home?
Oh yeah.
But just for myself, just because I left the contact lenses at home today. So
here's a look at those jerseys. Got again in the photoed headliners, Aaron Donald, Brett Favre, Brian Urlacher, and Odell Beckham, all available in the photoed headliners. In the listed headliners, Frank Gore. Very good chance that it'll be on a 49ers jersey, but can't be too sure. It could be on a different jersey. Jimmy Smith, the Jaguars' longtime receiver. Steve Largent, the Seahawks legend. Those are in the listed headliners section. Yeah, Derek, I agree. Favre on a Vikings item is rare. We've had Favre on a Jets before. We've had Favre on a Jets lid before too. Yeah, any Favre outside of the Packers, definitely very rare. And he was actually pretty good with the Vikings. As much as I hate to admit it, he was actually pretty good with the Vikings. So I think the Favre Vikings memorabilia does have a little bit more value in that sense.
Championship game appearance with Minnesota, right?
Championship game appearance, and then threw an interception in classic Brett Favre fashion.
I said Favre throwing an interception in a big moment.
Yeah, classic Brett Favre fashion.
You don't
Interception in an NFC Championship game. Ugh. Don't even get me started on 07, man.
You know, I actually, I really like the Jalen Carter. There's something about the Kelly green, Kelly Eagle green for the Eagles. We actually had a Michael Vick, even though I believe that one is currently in the practice squad, the newest one that we have that's available. But last week we had a break on a Kelly green Michael Vick helmet, which was really, really nice. It just reminds me. Reminds me of early 2010s footballs, just something that I grew up on, the connection that him and Deshaun Jackson had, something that a lot of people would argue would even be some of the best points of his career as a passing quarterback for Vic. Obviously, you had the peak athleticism and when he was, his dual threat ability with Atlanta. But coming back, he really became a much better pocket passer and just a really, really good overall clean look with that Kelly Green jersey. Much different player, much different era now with Jalen Carter. But if you want to invest in somebody that's repping that Packer letter G, the former Georgia Bulldog, and Jalen Carter, invest into that and could possibly go home with a Jalen Carter jersey today. So it'd be a very, very nice jersey to get as well. So,
yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that Michael Vick, Deshaun Jackson stuff, because the other wide receiver on that team, Mizzou made Jeremy Maclin.
Yeah, yep.
Some of the best years of his career.
Jeremy Maclin reference
in Philadelphia.
That was a memory in my brain that I didn't think existed. Jeremy Maclin. Oh my gosh.
Derek is saying possible cheap way to get a Favre auto, Freedom of Information Act for the legal stuff he went through. Yeah, but it's not on a helmet. It's on a subpoena.
Yeah, it's
two very different things.
Very, very different things.
You can't resell the subpoena.
Be very.
There's no value on. Actually, I lied. There's probably someone out there who has value on a Favre subpoena.
Yeah, some people will look at autographs as autographs.
Yeah. There's definitely some value. I think the memorabilia will have more value. But
it could be on a subpoena. It could be on a Subway sandwich. Some people just take an autograph for as is.
There are certain people who their signature has more value on the subpoena.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna name who they are, but you can figure it out.
Yeah, I think there's I think we could. Some people at home could pick up on that, but some people at home could also pick up on the fact that there is just one spot left.
Okay.
For our jersey break, our potential second jersey break. Mark McAdams, Mark. Thank you for buying in, my man. I know that you got your toes dipped in the pool of the depth chart break that we have available.
One to go in that jersey break.
You want to go in the jersey break, and again, Mark was popping in here, really trying to hype up and talk about the newest depth chart that we have. Chin May has done a great job running through it on our 9 a.m. and on our current show now. With the opportunities over there, so hopefully we can get this jersey break closed out and then hop into the depth chart, because I think that's where you can really find so much more value and a lot of just different varieties. So even if you end up with a potential helmet in there where it's something you may already have as a collectible, or maybe it's a rival player of a rival team that you end up supporting, something you can end up getting swapped out, something you can end up getting for better value later on once we open up a new series. So that's something that we're definitely going to be talking about a lot in this upcoming hour.
Yeah, and you talk about, I talk about price point with the practice squad. It's very similar with the depth chart. They're very similar price points. I think the depth chart maybe $60 a spot as opposed to $50 for the practice squad. But we like speed flexes. Yep. There's 4 speed flexes available just in the listed headliners section. I talk about the upgrade items a little bit. Derek mentioned it with that Barry Sanders. Barry was an authentic in that upgrade section. There could be speed flexes hanging out in that upgrade section. We don't know. But there are 4 speed flexes for sure that we know of in the depth chart in that listed headliner section. Tyreek Hill and Ndamukong Suh, Rondé Barber, and Davante Adams. So plenty of opportunities there, and plenty of opportunities there in the in that depth chart to get going and get yourself a speed flex item. And I'm gonna just pull up real quick that depth chart because we got 6 spots to go here in that double. The speed flexes, Tyreek Hill with a blue-green visor, got a little shade of blue there. Looks like could just be the way it's photographed, but it's definitely got the green there. Might be a 2-tone visor on Tyreek Hill there. And Ndamukong Suh with the classic Lions lid, sort of the new age Lions lid. He's got an inscription there on the back too. I can't make out quite what it says. I think it says second team all defense. I believe it says second team all defense on the inscription for Ndamukong Suh. He's got a nice silver visor there. Rondé Barber, Super Bowl champion inscription on the sweet spot there on the speed flex. And Davante Adams, the newest member of the Los Angeles Rams, a longtime Packer, longtime great Packers receiver, now trying to get back to the Super Bowl. I shouldn't say get back to the Super Bowl, get to a Super Bowl. He unfortunately never got to a Super Bowl with the Packers, but trying to get to the Super Bowl with the Rams out on the West Coast there. Derek saying Jeff August might want the Favre on the subpoena. Yeah, look, hey, I guess memorabilia is memorabilia in some way. You want Favre on the Packers or the Vikings, but subpoena might be the way to go. Yep, Mark makes a great point. Depth chart is also the Chase wheel spin for today. So if a break closes out in the depth chart, all your names get put on the wheel spin. All decade team. Okay, yeah. 2010 all decade team is on the Suh lid. Okay, thank you, Derek. Yeah. 2010 all decade team is what's on the Suh lid on the inscription. Jordan, yep, 1 to go in the jerseys. So hopefully that'll be closed out here in a bit. Again, we'll go back there on the jerseys. Still 1 spot to go there. A lot of the photoed headliners still available. Aaron Donald, Brett Favre, Brian Urlacher, and Odell Beckham Jr. in the photoed headliners, and then the listed headliners, Frank Gore, Jimmy Smith, and Steve Largent in the jerseys. 7 headliners left in the jerseys across the photoed and listed headliners. 18 boxes to go in that series. So where will we go to? What's left? Mark is saying what's left in the minis. Let's check out the minis here. Minis, again, automatically a double box break. And most of the photoed headliners are still available in the minis. Jerome Bettis, Rondé Barber, Justin Jefferson, Brian Dawkins, Ty Law, Abdul Carter, and John Elway on the Hall of Fame Salute to Service lid. That will be an AFC West hit. For those wondering, that will be an AFC West hit if the Elway is pulled. But nice Hall of Fame salute to service there for John Elway on the minis. So of the photoed headliners, only the Eric Dickerson, Brock Bowers, and Michael Irvin minis have been pulled. All the other photoed minis are available. And then in the listed headliner section, Thurman Thomas is available in this mini break, which will be a double mini break. All mini breaks, double box breaks. So Thurman Thomas also available in the minis. 23 boxes to go in the minis. 8 listed headliners available in that break. So what's it going to be, guys? Where are we going to go to next? Let's get those spots, close up some of these breaks that are on their last legs, and open up some memorabilia for you guys. Looks like the jerseys have sold out.
Let's go.
Looks like we will have a jersey break coming up here. We will have a jersey break coming up. So, Rob, if you want to get those names in, get that prepped, and I will.
Absolutely.
I will drop in the chat here to get that going. That'll be jersey break number 10. Jersey break number 10. If you're in that break, go ahead and drop in a box number. If I don't see a number, we will go to the picker wheel. And Mark is saying 14.
Go.
And we do have 14 available. 14 is available, so we will do box number 14. I will get those names, and we will get that set up.
Perfect. Just duplicating this to put the names in, and we'll be good to go. See here. There you go.
All right, we got Jordan, Karen, Mike, Todd, Mark, and Alfredo in this break. Let's get these names over to the randomizer here. And again, we're going 8 times around on the randomizer for the noon show. Todd, you've got the NFC North. Todd also has the NFC East and AFC South. Jordan, you've got the NFC South. Alfredo's got the NFC West. Mark has the AFC North. Mike has the AFC East. And Karen has the AFC West. Box 14, everybody. Good luck. Some of you, Rob and I, know this man more as an analyst than we do as an athlete. It's Jaws.
Yep.
It's Ron Jaworski.
There's the Kelly Green.
And it is Kelly Green. It's Jaws. Ron Jaworski on the Kelly. It looks like a Kelly Green Eagles lid or Eagles jersey. I'm gonna double check real quick on the numbers there. Yeah, it is an Eagles hit. Because it's an Eagles jersey, it's an Eagles hit. But Jaws, that is going to go to Todd Meyer in the NFC East.
2 for 2.
Todd getting into the breaks, and he is going to be coming away with a Jaws jersey. Great hit, Todd. Great hit. Ron Jaworski. Can't say I have seen Ron Jaworski play, but I've seen him on TV a lot in my day.
Oh, yeah. Very good analyst.
Always had a lot of takes.
Yes.
Always had a lot of takes.
Yeah. That's one way to put it.
At first, I thought it was going to be Michael Vick with the 7. But then I realized that Michael Vick would be a headliner. Get this put away
Gotcha.
for Todd, and I'll write this up real quick.
Absolutely. As much as I enjoy a good jersey autograph, I think it's time that we start getting into the vaults, maybe even the depth chart. I know Mark's been talking
Todd
quite a
chiming
bit.
into the chat, saying nice. Derek saying nice hit, Todd.
Yeah.
1 second.
Oh, gotcha.
Put the shit in there. But yeah, I agree with Rob here. We've seen some jerseys. Let's get that vault double closed out here. Only 3 spots to go in that vault double. Let's get that closed out, and hopefully we see LT out here on the table.
I'd like to see some type of MVP pulled. It's the weekend, man. You feel like an MVP, want to see an MVP. Hopefully tomorrow, opening kickoff for the first week of the 2025-2026 NFL season. Hopefully seeing some star players play like MVPs. We saw one last night. Put up
Yeah.
a performance like that in Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, so where do you guys want to go to next? Plenty of opportunities across the board, across series. Where do you guys want to take this show next? 3 to go in that vault double, 5 to go in that vault single, and 6 to go in that vault quad. Potentially pull all 4 headliners in that vault quad.
Mm-hmm.
6 to go in the diamond double as well. For those interested in the diamonds, again, authentics or better in all boxes in that diamond series. A lot of these games in the early slate are at halftime here in college. Actually, Duke scored a touchdown just before halftime. It's now 14-13 Illinois, getting a nice little battle with Duke. And how about Iowa? Iowa scoring a touchdown just before halftime. It's now 13-10 Iowa State.
That's definitely a rare sighting.
ahead of Iowa there for the Cy-Hawk Trophy. As I mentioned earlier, U.S. Open Women's Final also taking place this afternoon. Amanda Anisimova will take on Aryna Sabalenka in the final. That was a rematch. This will be a rematch of the Wimbledon semifinal, which Anisimova won. She lost in the final to Swiatek, but she beat Swiatek in the semifinal of the U.S. Open. Hopefully it's not a reverse for Anisimova this time around. Hopefully we see an American lift that trophy. But hopefully, so best of luck to Amanda Anisimova in that final, which will begin around 3 p.m. Central Time. Plenty of action in the afternoon college slate. Tennessee, Ole Miss, Oregon, Ohio State, all ranked teams in action. The one that we want to talk about, though,
Oh, yeah.
is Kansas and Missouri. The Jayhawks coming to Columbia for a renewal of the Border War, traditionally played in Kansas City. It's been on a hiatus for almost 15 years, 14-year hiatus. And we've played on the hardwood. Kansas was very eager to get that basketball series started. But the football has eluded us for a little bit. It's finally here. I know a lot of people are fired up in Columbia and Lawrence and Mizzou and Kansas alum across the country. It should be a very fun game. Tigers, 5.5-point favorites, but Kansas has a pretty good quarterback. So you never know what'll happen when the other side has a quarterback of that caliber.
Yeah, I mean, both teams look to have pretty good offenses and look to get off to a pretty electric start. So how far do you see your alma mater going?
Look, the schedule for Missouri relative to SEC schedules is not so bad, right? I mean, we got South Carolina, tough team. They're very good. Lost to them last year in a very close game in Columbia, South Carolina. We have a road trip to Oklahoma. That's never easy.
Yeah.
We got Auburn on the road. Auburn looks like a feisty team. We have A&M. We got smoked by A&M last year, and they look like they're going to be better this year than they were last year. We have Alabama, but Alabama looks a little shaky. They don't look so great, and we get Alabama at home. I see 8 wins on the table. 8 wins is very much on the table here. The only reason I wouldn't go higher is because I don't think Missouri has the same level of talent that it did 2 years ago and even last year. Yeah. I think the 2023 team that won the Cotton Bowl against Ohio State, that 2023 team would have, if there was a 12-team playoff, would have made the 12-team playoff. Had there been one that year, right?
Yeah.
Last year, they expanded the 12 teams. Unfortunately, we caught a few bad breaks and some injuries happened, and guys didn't play up to their potential. Still ended up with 10 wins thanks to the bowl game, but a little bit of momentum lost from that team. I don't think this year's team is as talented as either of those teams, but I think the schedule is favorable enough to where we get to 8 wins. I think we could pull a 9th win out there, maybe go down to Oklahoma, get a win, or stun Alabama at home. I think there's an opportunity for a 9th win, but our over/under was set at 7.5, and I think that was fair. Yeah, I think that's a fair over/under.
Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be a game that through the course of a season, there's always going to be a game that you should have won and a game that you should have lost. So those things usually tend to even out. But have there been any transfers at all that have been added onto for Mizzou that are going to be
Bo Prabula, the quarterback?
Yeah,
back up to Penn State. He comes in and first play from scrimmage in week 1 just throws an absolute dime on the deep ball for a touchdown. So Bo Prabula, definitely that impact transfer. Derek saying he misses the Michigan Notre Dame games. I do too. I think in all this realignment stuff, I've never been a guy who is like, we should keep the rivalry games for the tradition and whatnot. Like, I think they're fun. The rivalry games are important, and maybe if you constantly play them, it sort of diminishes the rivalry a little bit. But now we're going 7-8 years without these games, and it's just like, no, we need like maybe a 2-year gap or something. Yeah, we need to keep these rivalries.
Yeah, I mean, the rivalry games is exactly why they're called rivalry games. I mean, when they're established early on, from with these schools and, traditional battles that they would have, not being able to continue that tradition and lineage and going, like you said, a long time, even something as, just geographical as, like you said, this potential, this game that's coming up in about an hour or so between, Kansas and Mizzou, going 15 years, I mean, that's, almost a generation full of fans, from alma maters and everything like that, where it's just like there's a huge gap in history between schools where you just look back in the history books, which is why we talk about these things. And, there's just this big missing gap. So that falls onto the committee. Obviously, it's in the schedule makers to make sure that there are more rivalry games and to prioritize really what's most important, of course, not only for generating ratings, but also, also having a fine balance of competition between out of conference and in conference play. So I definitely do not envy being a schedule maker whatsoever in the NCAA, but it's one of those things where there's a very fine line. And now on top of that too, because you have so many teams because of that talent disparity switching conferences.
Yeah.
To try to balance things out. I know you mentioned earlier, the Big Ten, from football and basketball, and, recently have really been swapping schools in and out. Just this past year, obviously, with the Big Ten with USC, UCLA. But it's just one of those things where they're trying to create and find new ways to, balance out the talent and try to figure out new ways. So,
yeah, plenty of stuff that college football needs to figure out, and Michigan donates to the small non-conference schools that they play each year. Yeah, it's a standard practice among the big time college football programs, and sometimes those small schools win.
Yeah.
They get paid to win.
Yep.
They get paid to pull off the big upset.
Yes, sir.
It happened to Florida State a few years ago. I'm sure Michigan sent a little bit of money Appalachian State's way back in the day.
Oh, I think that's a fair assumption to make.
I think that's fair. So, Michigan is well aware of what can happen in those small games. Auburn nearly got shocked by Jacksonville State a few years ago. So it can happen.
Yeah,
it can happen. It's not normal, but it can happen.
That's why you put on the pads,
and
right?
That's why you got. That's why you got to lace them up and play.
Yep.
The game's won and lost between the lines.
Yep.
Always has been. Yeah, always will be.
And how much do you think that really factors into early, schedule of playing, especially when you're getting into the first couple of weeks of the college football season and you're trying to not only figure out, because it's really hard to determine. You have an idea of going into the season, through practice, OTAs, things that you hear. But when you get into sometimes really non-competitive, non-conference play, it's a really hard judgment to see, okay, how many of these wins are we going to take seriously into bowl consideration? How legitimate is our team? So, how do you feel about that when it comes to the legitimacy of, sometimes non-conference play leaning way too much, in a dominant direction?
Well, I think now, so the SEC is moving to 9 conference games.
Yeah.
So that'll take out a non-con game automatically. Mm-hmm. So I believe they are going away from trying to schedule some of those, cupcake non-con games.
Yeah.
I do still think some of those tune-up games are important. Just it's a way for you guys, your guys to kind of execute offense without too much pressure, but still in a live game situation, still with some stakes. So I definitely think that there are some benefits to it, but I agree. I don't think it doesn't weigh too heavily on bowl implications anymore, because a lot of those bowl games people sit out anyway. They preparing for the best players in those bowl games who aren't in the playoff are sitting out those games, right? They're preparing for the draft or they're looking to transfer. So I don't think the bowl season has as much value as it does, and in turn, getting to 6 wins, sure, you're bowl eligible. It's great for the school, great for the program.
I was going to say it's the program first. Yeah,
it's not really a big deal for the players. So I don't really mind too much about having 4 non-con games count towards your bowl eligibility. But yeah, it's definitely a consideration, and the college football playoff committee will definitely consider the non-con strength of schedule when they talk about seeding and they talk about which teams get into that 12-team bracket.
So, since we're on the topic of Kansas and Mizzou starting up in, just about an hour or so, what are your expectations for the electrifying new Chicago Bears receiver from your alma mater and Luther Burden? Yeah,
so I have Luther Burden on my fantasy team. It's got a little bit of dynasty value. The league has a little bit of dynasty value. We do have keepers, so possibility that Luther Burden breaks out. Maybe I keep him around for a little bit. So I do have Luther Burden on the team. I have Luther Burden actually on both. So I have Luther Burden in my Mizzou league as well. I bid up on Luther Burden in that one. So I have Luther in both my leagues. Yeah, I'm excited for him. I think he's obviously tremendous talent. Had a bit of a down year last year. I think a little bit too much was put on his plate. He was coming off a big year, and the expectations were a bit too high. Yeah, there were some, there have been some chatter about character concerns and whether he's, prepping seriously or not. Maybe there was a little bit of that. But I think every star wide receiver has some of those concerns.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a bit of a diva element to every superstar wide receiver. So yeah, I'm feeling good about where Luther Burden could be, and Ben Johnson as the offensive coordinator could use a lot of 3 wide receiver sets. So I'm feeling good about where Luther Burden could be. I was a big Rome Odunze guy as well. Rome coming out of college, I was a big fan of Rome at Washington. Big fan of Rome his rookie year. So unfortunately for me, 2 of my favorite young receivers play for the Chicago
Division
Bears.
rivals. Yeah.
But I want to see them succeed.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think for, when going on to your point about wide receivers, I feel like it's just a thing, especially with younger guys. It's always, the character clause is always something that's really hard to, evaluate. But especially like you were talking about Burns' expectations this past year, having a lot on his shoulders, especially going into the year and him knowing that he was going to be already a highly rated draft prospect, barring injury or barring, his draft stock falling. Like, for example, a guy like Ali Gordon, who had, his this past year dramatically fell off with his draft stock.
There was talk of Heisman with Ollie Gordon.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, there was serious, first round pick consideration for him, and now he could possibly be not only for fantasy implications, potentially being, because with Devon Achane always being there's always some sort of aches and pains with Devon Achane. For the Miami Dolphins backfield, he can really be a positive player for them. But I think it's just one of those things for going into this Chicago Bears season. In a brand new look offense for Ben Johnson, don't really know what that's going to look like. Speed kills, and that's exactly what Luther Burden's going to provide. Yeah. The Bears, I think, desperately need a vertical threat down the field that can open the field over the middle for Colston Loveland. Their first round draft pick. Yeah. Obviously, DJ Moore, you can play him anywhere, but I think they would prefer to play him in the slot over the middle of the field. But then I think Burden is going to be able to open that up. So kind of like how, Golden can possibly look for the Packers and, Jamison Williams with the Lions and Jordan Addison with the Vikings, just trying to keep it in the NFC North here. Guys with speed, they can open up the field for, other star guys. So I think Burden can have a really, really positive first year, but at the same time, it's all going to hinge on 18. Under center in Chicago.
Hey, so. If Luther Burden pulls off the type of season that Jamison Williams had last year, I will not be complaining too much.
The guy that had 1,000 yards on under 60 catches.
I will not be complaining too much. I'll be complaining as a Packers fan, but as a Missouri alum, I will be very happy for my guy.
That's offensive rookie of the year consideration in there. To say the least. So
for sure.
Yeah, if he manages to pull that out. So speaking of that though, hopefully we can get a couple more pulls here in the 12.
Let's pull out some helmets, man. 3 to go in this vault double. This vault double has been sitting at 3 to go for such a long time. I know the Mahomes is gone. I know the Bettis is gone. I understand that. But the LT Speed Flex is still there. LaDainian Tomlinson Speed Flex is still available. Not Super Bowl MVP. Can't be Super Bowl MVP, but it's NFL MVP. 2004 NFL MVP inscription on the Tomlinson Speed Flex, and that George Kittle Gold 49ers Authentic. There's plenty of Niners fans who would love to have that. Even if you're not a 49ers fan, get that gold George Kittle helmet, get a trade chip so you can get something that you want. Because these 49ers fans, I'm sure they have a lot of other stuff that they might not want. They probably have some Cowboy stuff that they really don't want. You can use this Kittle Authentic as trade bait.
I mean, not only that, this break room is a gold mine for 49ers gear. So, but specifically just being in this series, or obviously talking about the depth chart series, having the variety to be able to mix and match and potentially trade things and have things coming in and out of that break. It's part of the reason why we decided to start up this series here, and I think it's something that definitely needs to be taken advantage of. I know Mark McAdams has had some really positive things to say during our 9 a.m. show, and continuing into our noon slate here, talking about the depth chart, and hopefully Mark is, if not taking the, I guess you could say, upon himself to buy back in, but also trying to maybe talk to some of the other people still tuning in with us here and try to get them buying into the break as well.
Yeah. Plenty of options for anything that you got, and it doesn't have to be these breaks. Mm-hmm. Like guys are interested in other things. Mark was talking about the Ed Reed Authentic in the practice squad. Charles was talking about the Michael Vick Speed Flex in the practice squad. Buy into the practice squad. Maybe there are a few other people who are thinking of buying into the practice squad, but they don't see the break moving. They don't see that much interest. But a couple spots go away. Now they see some interest. Maybe they jump in. Maybe a couple more spots go away. A few more people think, okay, this break is closer to closing. Let me jump in now. So just because, we're talking about the depth chart and we're talking about the vault, and those are great series too. And those are the, close to closing, but there's other series out there with plenty of great stuff. And if you think that you want that item, like, go after those series. Derek's saying a lot of 3 wides from the Lions as well, with St. Brown, JMO, and Tesla. Yeah, yep. Tesla has looked very interesting preseason player. Yeah, I'm interested to see what he can do in that Lions offense. It could be a nice waiver wire addition on the fantasy side of things.
That could be possibly a league winner. A lot of waiver wire guys. You talked about Puka Nacua during our 9 a.m. show, helping.
Puka's not a waiver wire guy anymore. Let's be clear.
I was talking to you about, like before. Yeah. But previous, I'm just saying, there could be, there's always that 1 or 2 breakout guys that you end up getting because of injuries on the waiver wire every year. But I'd be interested to hear Derek's thoughts on the coordinator changes on both sides of the ball for, Aaron Glenn and obviously Ben Johnson moving up to being head coaches at respective teams. So I'm interested to hear Derek's thoughts on how he thinks that's going to be a different look on both sides of the ball. Because obviously Detroit in the second half of last season losing Aiden Hutchinson, but then not just him, but an abundance of their defense. They were just totally decimated.
Tons of injuries on the defense. Another, not to make this a Missouri show, but Mizzou corner Enos Rakestraw also injured again, unfortunately. But Rakestraw, phenomenal corner at Mizzou. Was going to be an instrumental piece of that Lions defense. Unfortunately, he's hurt again this season. So, Lions not catching too many breaks on the defensive side. But I've never been a big like Ben Johnson definitely will have an impact on the coordinator change will definitely impact the offense, no doubt about it. Defensively, I just think the Lions were so decimated that it might not really matter who the coordinator is. Like, eventually, they just weren't going to be able to stop people with third string guys. That just wasn't going to happen when they got to the playoffs. But I think there will definitely be an offensive look that's different for the Lions with the coordinator change. Defensively, I don't think there will be that much of a difference for the Lions, especially with Aiden Hutchinson coming back.
Yeah, I mean, Detroit winning 15 games last season, I believe, or 14 or 15 games last season. So. I think there is going to be some, I don't want to use the word regression to the mean, because I think they still have, without a doubt, an elite offense, one of the best in football, could be the best in any week.
They still have great players.
They have phenomenal, great players. I mean, at the most prominent positions as well, too. So, it's going to be a matter of just health on that side of the ball. But at the same time, offensive line, arguably one of the best in football, defensive line as well. So, if you're winning the battles in the trenches and you're putting, you're alleviating pressure on the offensive side for your quarterback and you're putting pressure on the other team's quarterback, I think they'll be in pretty decent shape. But, the Bears are due to, obviously, finishing off with 10 straight losses to end the season last year. They're a brand new team this year. We're going to have to see how that all plays out. I just think that NFC North is arguably the second best division in football this year, possibly even could have the most wins if everything goes well. Here in Chicago, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, and you talked about that regression. The over under on their win total is 9.5 for the Lions. So
that's a considerable.
Yeah,
that's
9.5.
That's shocking,
because obviously you got the coordinator shifts, then you got Parsons trade happening.
Yeah,
so that's gonna impact things. But the over is favored minus 125 on over 9.5 wins. Wow. But that's a big drop, right?
Huge.
You're talking 15 wins to get to even 10 wins.
I mean, how often? I mean, truthfully, outside of barring, a major quarterback injury or a Hall of Fame head coach being fired, like, how often do you see a team really running back more or less the same team outside of coordinator switches have a loss drop of maybe 5-6 projected wins?
It's interesting.
That's not very. That's not very common.
It's definitely not. Yeah, that's a very interesting, and that line, for those of you interested in that sort of thing, that over under was through DraftKings. So if you're feeling one side or the other on that line, DraftKings is your place to go. But Derek is saying he doesn't see much difference except for some different packages potentially, which I can see that. I can see that, especially offense. I think there will be certainly be a different look on offense.
The same sentiment's got to be said from Dan Campbell. It's like, well, I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Right.
I mean, you won 15 out of your 16 regular season games, and we're getting dragged to the finish line by, like you said, third string guys in the playoffs against a guy who was having the best rookie season in the history of rookie seasons for quarterbacks. Yeah. In Jayden Daniels. So. You just ran into an elite offense, and you're playing a domed environment, and in the playoffs, and it was just one of those unfortunate things. But for Lions fans, man, I mean, just what they've had to endure and go through, and just the long amounts of anguish, which of course a lot of is inflicted by your ball club up north.
Yeah.
But Lions fans just deserved a lot better outcome than than what they got at the end of last year. So hopefully they can punch their ticket back into the NFC. And again, this is me coming from a guy that's in support of an NFC team.
Yeah.
But I definitely do see the Lions getting over on that win total for sure. I would
and speaking of, you talked about Jayden Daniels and the Commanders. There's a nice Commanders lid here in this Diamond Series with 3 quarterbacks that Jayden Daniels would like to be a part of. He would enjoy that company. He would enjoy the company of Joe Theismann, Doug Williams, and Mark Rippon. I believe Williams and Rippon both have Super Bowl MVP inscriptions on this helmet. Rippon, it's a bit hard to tell if it's the MVP or the actual Super Bowl number. But Doug Williams definitely has Super Bowl MVP. Rippon, I believe it's Super Bowl MVP, but it could just be the number. We'll just have to pull out the helmet to see exactly what it is. But Jayden Daniels definitely hoping that he can be a part of that esteemed group of Washington quarterbacks. Jayden Daniels and the Commanders, there's a lot of love, but hey, you talk about regression to the mean. The Commanders basically went 5-0 on games decided on the last play of the game.
Yep.
Forget like last minute or like one score. Literally the last play of the game, they were 5-0. Play that simulation over 10,000, 100,000 times.
It's not going to be the same result.
It's not going to be 5-0.
Yep.
It's probably going to be like 1-4 or 2-3 more often than not. And hey, even 2 or 3 wins is enough in a very competitive NFC. You might not make the playoffs.
Yep.
You might not make the playoffs with 2 or 3 less wins. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens over there in Washington. Jayden Daniels, again, and I know we have a lot of Commanders fans who stop by the break room. We have had Jayden Daniels here before. I saw him a couple weeks ago on a nice mini helmet. He was also on a football. We do have a lot of Jayden Daniels coming through. We do have Terry McLaurin as well, who's usually on some helmets. So those guys will certainly be available in the break room for the Commanders fans. But until then, scoop up this triple quarterback sign helmet.
Got to.
While you can in the Diamonds. And again, in that Diamond Series, only the Jerome Bettis helmet is not available among these photoed headliners.
That's a crime.
All these other photoed headliners are available. 4 Speed Flexes available. One of them is that Commanders triple signed salute to service. The Warren Moon, Josh Allen, and Randy Moss Speed Flexes are the other 3 in the headliners here for that Diamond Series. So plenty of options here in the break room. Jump into that Diamond Series. Jump into that Vault Double. That Vault Double still 3 to go in that break. 5 to go in the Vault Single. We are 6 to go in the Vault Quad. So there's some movement in the Vault, but it's all over the place. Let's try and close out one of those breaks. Get it concentrated down to 1 break and close that out. 7 spots in the minis, so someone must have jumped into the minis. And 7 spots in that Speed Flex Quad. Again, that Speed Flex series, all Speed Flexes, as the series says, all Speed Flexes. That Josh Allen Speed Flex salute to service with a nice custom visor. Josh Allen's image on the visor there with a little bit of camo on the visor. Josh Allen Speed Flex. Terrell Davis available as well. He's got the Hall of Fame inscription. Tom Brady, the Patriots Speed Flex is available. The Bucks one is gone, but the Patriots one is still available. It's very rare that we have 2 Tom Brady lids in the same series. Very rare. Ray Lewis on the classic Ravens Speedflex still available. Bo Jackson on the classic Raiders Speedflex still available. Michael Irvin on the Cowboys. Jared Goff on a ripped Cal Detroit Lions Speedflex. I'm going to try to find there. It's got to be a video of this. Yep, there it is. You got a Detroit and Cal rip for Jared Goff, and he's got his signature right there in the sweet spot on that Speedflex. I know he's not my quarterback, but that's a nice lid. That's a nice lid.
No, again, this is just my second week here at Ultimate Autographs, but I think I'm starting to gain a huge personal preference for the college and pro level split helmet.
Yeah.
I've seen a Randy Moss and Steve Smith split helmet just like that.
Yeah.
So no, it's definitely just the way that it's kind of incorporated into the helmet. I mean, honestly, I think this is, if you had to choose a room or a break to be in, I think this has got to be the break that you got to be in.
If you want speed flexes, look, you guys have said you want speed flexes. You guys have said we want the speed flex helmet. We want the custom speed flex helmets.
Of the line.
This is it. This is the break that you want to be in if you want the custom speed flexes. They're right there. They're right there. The Darrelle Revis one. I'm sure there's a video of the Darrelle Revis. It looks like he's got a Hall of Fame inscription as well on there, but we can double check that. I'm pretty sure there's a Revis video. No, that's a Bo Jackson. Gotta find it. This one. There's the Revis.
Almost looking like a Revis mural on
the mural on the side.
On the
it's
side,
like a nice image. It's well painted. It's got like a clouded rip. Look at that on the crown. It says Revis Island with some palm trees.
Trees.
Yeah, Revis Island on the sweet spot of the Speedflex there. That's a nice touch as well. Yeah.
I don't know where else you're finding that. So that's
the custom work on this is phenomenal. And obviously, of course, Darrelle Revis, one of the all-time great players.
Yeah.
On the defensive side of the ball in the league. So plenty of stuff in that Speedflex series as well. If you guys are looking for Speedflexes, if you haven't won a Speedflex but want to win a Speedflex, that's the series to be in. We talked about, again, the only headliner that is gone from the photoed headliners, the only photoed headliners that are gone are Peyton Manning, the Bucks Tom Brady lid, and the Jamar Chase. Everything else, and the Mahomes. The Mahomes is also gone. So Peyton, one of the Bradys, Mahomes, and Jamar, all gone, but everyone else is still available. Derek saying that Nico is sick. Yep, that Nico Collins. See if there's a video of that Nico Collins.
The blue visor, right? I believe.
Yeah,
that one.
There's the Nico.
Derek being a fan of the color blue, I never would have thought.
There's the Nico. You got
nice.
a nice. I can't tell if it's like, it looks silver, but it also looks gold. Like it's like a mix of silver and gold.
It's like metallic.
Yeah. It's got the Texans logo in black there, but it's got a nice blue visor with the red Texans ink on the front. Really, really well done here. But that is the Nico Collins, still available in that Speedflex series.
So since we're just on the topic of Nico Collins, one of my favorite, and honestly one of the most underrated players that I ever watched growing up, of course, was Andre 3000.
Yeah.
I loved watching Andre Johnson. Of course, he made some very questionable quarterbacks. These starting quarterbacks look like Pro Bowl guys from time to time. And my question for you, Chinmay, is does Nico Collins have a chance to get into that same class? Not just in terms of production, but just in Texans history.
He's off to a phenomenal start.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, I know CJ Stroud had a bad year. Andre Johnson would like to have CJ Stroud as his quarterback.
CJ Stroud at 50% is better than David Carr at 100%.
CJ Stroud is set for a nice bounce back year. He is definitely not as bad as what we saw last year. Now, he caught fire his rookie year, and maybe he's not that level of consistent yet, but I think they had some injuries as well, right? Joe Mixon got hurt late in the year. Stephon Diggs goes down. Tank Dell goes down. They were missing some guys. So that plays into some of the things that you can do on offense.
I think both of them.
Not to say that CJ Stroud didn't regress a little bit. He was also not as sharp as he was in his rookie season. But Nico Collins, a clear wide receiver one. Yep, as Derek quickly pointed out, a Michigan man.
There you go.
Michigan alum, Nico Collins. But yeah, he's quickly emerged as one of the better receivers in the league. And I agree with you in the sense that he's a little bit underrated. Whenever we talk about best receivers in the league, we always talk about Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Puka Nacua is entering that conversation. A.J. Brown is sort of in the mix as well. We always talk about these guys, and Nico Collins kind of just gets forgotten in that mix. He's never quite really talked about in that sense, but I do believe that he's as much of a talent as those guys. And not to say that those guys aren't, number one receivers. They very clearly are. But Nico Collins definitely deserves to be in that conversation as well. And I think he has a great chance, if he can stay healthy and Stroud can stay healthy, a great chance to break a lot of franchise records for Houston.
Yeah, I think that the combination in terms of talent between Stroud and Collins and their connection is undeniable. But, you also have to think, and the only hesitation that I do have on Collins in this season, now, the numbers are going to be there, but how, in terms of his effectiveness to be able to get open is, I think it's going to be hampered somewhat just because of the lack of options around Nico Collins, just because obviously Tank Dell working his way back from injury, Stephon Diggs, of course, now in New England. So they're going to have to rely on, some other outside sources for, to try to figure out the wide receiver depth chart with Houston. So Joe Mixon being out, it's going to be an interesting offensive season, I think, for Houston, for a team that's kind of right now in a stage where, they're also one of the, I feel like the 100th team we've talked about that's on the bubble of possibly being in a playoff spot this year. In the AFC, but I think that Collins is, been off to a phenomenal start to his career. Like you mentioned, I mean, last season for Collins overall, over 1,000 yards last year and just 68 catches, which is pretty insane over a 12-game period for himself. So, missing 4 games last season for Collins, was able to get over 1,000 yards in that time span with 7 touchdowns, but wouldn't surprise me if he was an all-pro guy, but CJ Stroud, keep in mind, a guy in his rookie year who finished top 10 in MVP voting. Don't see too many rookie quarterbacks do that, but I think the biggest thing for Stroud is his turnover rate. He had the lowest turnover percentage for starting quarterbacks in the NFL's rookie year. So, we talk about guys possibly going back to the mean or teams going back to the mean. We talked about that a lot with Washington not too long ago, but I feel like with Stroud overall, we saw a lot of that with him last year, but I think just the way that CJ carries himself, because I don't know how much you've seen about interviews and the way that CJ Stroud talks about football and, breaking down coverages and formations and everything, but the guy is a football savant. So I think that they have their franchise quarterback for, the next decade down in Houston. But with that being said, if Nico Collins is there alongside of him, I think that he's going to match, if not break, Andre Johnson's record. So, and that's really saying something about the Hall of Famer. So,
yeah, as you can see on your screens, if you're just tuning in, I have made a slight change to the Chase wheel spin. The vault double box number 6 is 3 spots to go. So if you close out that vault double, we will do a separate wheel spin for the vault double, only for that vault double. Any other vault that you jump into doesn't count towards the Chase wheel spin. You'll still have a spot in that break, but if you want to get into the wheel spin, because it looks like depth chart hasn't moved, so the vault double hasn't moved either. But let's throw a little bit of incentive out there. If we can close out that vault double, it's 3 spots to go. It's been 3 spots to go for a long time. If we can close out that vault double, I will do a wheel spin just for that vault double number 6. Again, in this vault, we don't have the Bettis, we don't have the Mahomes. I understand. I get it. Those were the headliner items. We still have the LT Speed Flex with the NFL MVP inscription. We still have the George Kittle Authentic. We still have Jameson Williams. We still have Terrell Suggs. We still have a $100 vault key. Think about this. You get in this break. It's a $200 spot, but you get in the break. You come back with an item and a vault key. You get the $100. You then win the chase wheel spin and get up to $100. Let's say I magically spin 100 and you get 100 there. You're getting your $200 back, just like that. And you came away with an item.
Mm-hmm.
You came away with an item as well. Now you can use that $200 that you won, jump back into a different vault double, and come away with some of the items that weren't pulled in that first vault double. And that's the best case scenario, obviously.
Yeah.
But crazier things have happened. I've seen people turn $100 vault keys into speed flexes out of the practice squad because they turn that $100 into a couple spots in the practice squad. That break closes out, and there's 2 speed flexes sitting there in the practice squad. There's 4 speed flexes sitting there in the depth chart series. There's speed flexes in some of these lower price breaks that you can turn this $100 vault key into. So, it's just $100. It might not be as good as the headliner items that you see out there, but we like to think that it's just as good as a headliner item because you're getting an item. You're getting a full-size helmet, but you're also getting that $100 to spend to jump into something else. So I will do, if we can close out that vault double, I will put that as a separate chase wheel spin. We'll do a separate gift card giveaway for the people who are in that vault double break. So that's vault double break number 6. Again, 3 spots to go. If we can close that out, then that break will get a separate wheel spin if we do close out a depth chart break.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The way that you broke that down, not too many better opportunities here in the break room that you're going to see other than that. So potentially best case scenario, like you said, coming out with potentially an elite speed flex, and then on top of that, turning it into, you getting your money back as well. So,
yeah,
I mean, it is the weekend, time to, it's time. It's
start
time
the party.
Start the party. Time to enjoy yourself. Kick your feet up. Tap into some of that, weekend allowance, a little bit of spending money action going on. So, instead of you, heading to your local casino, how about you take a chance? How about you take a chance with us and roll the dice with us here on the, here at UA? So. That's a great. Anytime that you have an opportunity to put yourself in the chance for a wheel spin, and earn yourself an elite helmet, you have to do it. So
a little bit of a score check here to give people some time to think about the new opportunities available to them in this break room. It's 137 right now. We'll check back in. We'll check back in at 145. We'll see how things are going at 145. If there's some movement, we'll stay on the air. If there's no movement, we'll jump off, and we'll see you guys again at 3 p.m. Texas was pulling away from San Jose State. They're up 31-7. Penn State has got a little bit of breathing room. They're up 20-0. Iowa and Iowa State tied at 13.
Okay.
So that Cy-Hawk battle will be coming down to the wire here in that fourth quarter. Illinois up 21-13 on Duke now, so they got a touchdown there to extend their lead. Baylor and SMU tied at 24. Baylor had a very interesting game against Auburn in week 1. They're trying to knock off their former Southwest Conference rivals in SMU and Texas A&M. I know they were. I was saying they were in a bit of a battle with Utah State. It was 10-6 at the end of the first quarter.
Yeah.
The Aggies have pulled away. It is now 30-6 at halftime.
Okay.
They have pulled away from Utah State here.
It's putting it mildly.
Yeah. we're still a little under an hour away from kickoff of the border war. Missouri, a 5.5-point favorite over the school out west. I personally have put Mizzou money line in one of my parlays.
There you go.
Mizzou money line along with Arizona State money line. So backing my boys, backing the Tigers to get a W here on Saturday as the border war renews itself. What games are you looking at outside of Missouri and Kansas? Because we've talked about that one. What other games interest you on this Saturday slate? Looking ahead. Outside of some of these early games.
Despite my wardrobe saying the exact opposite, I do agree with that. I said it earlier on the 9 o'clock show, and I do agree with you. I think that Mizzou money line is the play. But just looking at a couple of the other games later on for today, Michigan and Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I'm going into that tonight. I talked to you about how much I have been enjoying the ranked games early on in the season. I think that's been a really nice, refreshing thing so far. So I think Michigan and Oklahoma is going to be really, really fun to tune into. I know Derek is obviously going to be.
Yep.
He's going to have his feet kicked up, hopefully during the 6 o'clock show that we
he's-
have going on
he's
tonight.
gonna be-
He'll have
he's
us
gonna
on
be
in the
looking at that
background.
he's gonna be looking at that parlay. He's gonna be looking at that parlay.
So funny enough, Chinmay, obviously, for those that are just tuning in, this is my first Saturday show. This is just my second week here at Ultimate Autographs. You and I are going to be working every Saturday together. So this is something that prematurely I kind of want to get a little bit of a curve on. So let's see how this goes between us. So I'm going to just transition to the pros really quick to just preview for tomorrow. So between you and I want to give you an opportunity to pick first. I want you to give me your 3 favorite spreads for tomorrow for the NFL slate. So I believe 13 games.
13 games on the slate.
Going on tomorrow across the association. So just give me the 3 that really catch your eye, and then we can reconvene next Saturday. Yeah, and then just kind of keep like maybe a season-long thing.
Yeah, I'll do Packers 1.5. I'll do Packers 1.5.
See, this is why. You see, if I was an awful producer and co-host, I would have just said, you know what, I'm going to do this myself and take it first, and then I would have picked the Packers first.
Yeah, I'll take Packers 1.5. I got him back. I got to back my boys. Okay. I'll take Packers 1.5. That's a. Let's just make sure that that's a spread across. Always got to odd shop a little bit.
Always.
I say that as I never odd shop. No, it's okay. So ESPN Bet has it at 1.5. DraftKings has it at 2.5. So which are we going with?
Go with the bigger one. Go with the larger spread. Yeah, go 2.5.
I'll go 2.5. I'll go Packers 2.5.
Okay.
Yeah. Packers by a field goal. Yeah. I like that.
Sounds good to me. Okay. And then you got two others that catch your eye?
Oh, yeah. I'll go Bills as the underdog. So Bills would be plus 1.5. They're plus 1.5 at both DK and ESPN Bet. So I'll go Bills plus 1.5.
Okay, so yeah, Baltimore at home.
No, Buffalo's at home.
Buffalo's at home.
Yeah,
and they're dogs at home.
Wow. Slight home dogs.
Wow,
yeah, slight home dogs.
Very good pick there.
I mean, look. Baltimore absolutely smoked them in the regular season last year. Derrick Henry ripped off the 87-yard touchdown run on the first play, and then was pretty much downhill for Buffalo. But Buffalo got him in the playoff game at home. So I like Buffalo at home. You know, could the Ravens win? Sure. Do I think the Ravens are the better overall roster? Like if we go player by player, yes. I think the Ravens have the better overall team on paper. But Buffalo's at home. Buffalo has the reigning MVP. You're giving me Buffalo as an underdog at home. I'll take it, even if it's a slight underdog.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you can get the MVP at home, prime time with the points, or in this case, with a point.
Yeah,
you got to take it. So I would agree with you in lockstep with that. So I hate to be such in lockstep with you in a lot of these, but
no, it's fine. It's fine. It's great to be in agreement. Yeah, great to be in agreement. And then I guess I just saw this spread, and I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to see if there's some like injuries or something. Okay, there are quite a bit, but not enough to. No, Tyreek is playing. Yeah, I don't buy this. I don't buy this Colts minus 1.5.
Yeah.
I don't buy that at all.
I mean, when you look at Daniel Jones going up against,
no, I don't buy that at all. Give me Dolphins plus 1.5. I mean, that's no, like Miami struggles in cold weather. Miami struggles with elements. The Colts play in a dome. There's gonna be no weather factor there. Miami's just a better offensive team. They just have better weapons. I don't think the Colts keep it close, quite frankly. I don't understand that spread at all. Maybe it's just uncertainty for both teams.
Yeah, I think so. But I mean,
look, Jonathan Taylor's a great player. Like he could dominate on the ground. I just don't think the Colts have the juice to keep up with Miami.
Yeah, and I mean their defense. I mean, if they're constantly going to be on the field, depending on what Jonathan Taylor does, and it is going to be a Jonathan Taylor, and let's be honest, Daniel Jones run heavy offense.
Yeah,
we saw how much Michael Pittman suffered last year at the hands of poor quarterback play. You had Josh Downs really become the number one target because you couldn't throw the ball farther than 10, 15 yards accurately for Anthony Richardson. So I would agree. I think it is a very, very fishy line, no pun intended, for Miami there. But at the same time, Miami has been one of those teams where, I could see them end up winning 4 games by the end of the year, or I could see them flirting with the playoff spot in week 17.
100%. 100%.
It's going to go one direction or the other for them.
Last year, they were dealing with a lot of injuries. They were inconsistent. They had some games that they probably should have won that they lost. And we saw a team that really struggled and ultimately missed the playoffs. But in 2023, the Miami Dolphins had the best offense in the league.
Yep.
In yards per game. They were number 1 in yards per game, number 2 in points per game. So when this team is healthy and locked in, we know what they can do on offense.
Yeah.
And even the middle ground of those two things, right? Best offense in the league to sort of sloppy, inconsistent. Even if they're in the middle ground of that, I think they're better than whatever the Colts will put together.
Yeah.
So that's all I got to say on that.
Yeah, this might be the first and last time I ever let you go first, because you sniped a lot of good lines here. Because for me, I'm the type of guy where it's like I'm really not in favor of laying the points than more than a touchdown.
Okay.
I start to get very, very nervous. I get nervous.
Sure.
For example, the Tennessee and Denver line originally opened at 6.5. That's now up to 9 from what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
So, that's way, way too much juice for let's be honest, Bo Nix. I need to see it for more than just the second half of his rookie season. Despite I think his offensive line and Bo Nix, I think is going to be a solid quarterback. But okay, so let's see here. I'm gonna the one biased, probably the highest spread that I'll take. I got to go down to the Superdome to visit the worst team in the NFL.
I left that one.
I left
that one.
You knew where this was going to go.
I knew where you were going with that. I left that one.
All I'm doing is seeing red today and all day tomorrow.
Yeah.
So no, the case for the Cards outside of. It's more of a case against New Orleans than it is a case
100%.
for Arizona.
Yeah.
Now, I will say for Arizona's offense, look, New Orleans last year allowed the second most rushing touchdowns in the league. James Conner is a beast in the red zone, very reliable guy on the ground. I think he could easily decimate New Orleans on the ground. Despite New Orleans plus is really their front seven.
Yeah.
Their linebacking core, Chase Young, I think is going to be really one of their best players, which is saying a lot on their roster. But again, it's more of a prove it year for Chase Young more than anything else. But this Cardinals offense, you and I alluded to it in bits and pieces throughout the show, talking about Kyler Murray earlier. But, earlier parts of the season, first half, Kyler Murray's the real thing. Yeah. Arizona's had some electrifying offenses under him. Marvin Harrison Jr., as much as I love the bulging biceps, I'm going to want to see the production a lot more out on the field. Now, despite, I think, a little bit of an overhated rookie season, still flirted with 1,000 yards, despite him being underutilized, and he still had 8 touchdowns. Trey McBride, he's going to start being a much bigger red zone threat. I could see Arizona going up 2 scores early and running away with this one. So let's see. Another one here. I'm gonna zag. I'm gonna zag on the Jags. I'm gonna take. I'm gonna take the points with Carolina.
That's very fair.
There's a lot of love coming in right now for the Jaguars, and rightfully so. We talked about them earlier as well.
There's a lot of upside on the Panthers as well. If you talk to Ricky here, he believes the Panthers are going all the way. So. You should listen to that conspiracy
all the way to 7 wins.
No,
all the way to 7 wins.
You should listen to the big. Yeah. You should listen to the grand scheme from Ricky.
Yeah, that's it sounds more like a grand conspiracy theory more than anything else.
You should listen to it though.
I think I think Carolina. Look, Bryce Young. Now you talk about small sample sizes. No pun intended.
Yeah,
being small, but Bryce Young, with what he has had and what he has been given, it's very hard to evaluate him. But the flashes that he did show towards the end of last year, I think, is going to be a nice culture builder going forward for this Carolina team. Chuba Hubbard kind of established himself as a decent back. Carolina, obviously, with Ted Rowe and McMillan. hopefully we'll see what he can provide as a first-round wide receiver this past year. Xavier Legette, it's a shame that Jalen Coker, unfortunately, is going to be on the IR to start the season. But they got a really young defense. But at the same time, this Jacksonville team, man, like it just seems like so many times during the last couple of seasons. Again, new regime in terms of head coach. We'll see what happens. But it seems like Jacksonville blew so many second-half leads in the last couple of years. So you want to talk about a team that I could see doing an ultimate backdoor cover. I think Carolina is in prime position to set things up for that. So just rounding out on this last one here, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go out. I'm going to go out to the West Coast. I'm going to lay the points with Houston. I'm going to take Houston at +3 just because I think that their offense can match the offensive output with the Rams. I think the Rams are. Look, if you have a lot of Ram stock invested, I completely back you 100%. I think the defense again is going to be in a question, but the offense should be if Stafford's back is put together, and if he is not going to show regression in his age 37 season, I think that the Rams are going to have easily a top 10 offense in the league. However, I think Houston can come out and do that as well. Missing Joe Mixon is going to hurt. However, I do think that Houston clearly is more depth with their personnel defensively. So I think if Houston can keep this one close and CJ Stroud is CJ Stroud, I think that they can be not only cover, but they could be a really good road dog in week one. So
I agree with a lot of that analysis. It should be an exciting Sunday in week one of the NFL. It is 1:51. I have not seen any movement on any of the breaks, and that means that we are going to take a break ourselves here. We will be back at 3 p.m. I will be back at 3 p.m. along with Rip. Rob will be taking off. You'll see him. Are you in during the week?
Yes. So going forward, for those that want to write my schedule down, I'm going forward to tune in whenever you'd like to. But Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays.
All right. So you'll be back in on Tuesday.
I will be back at Tuesday night.
All right. Rob will be back in on Tuesday with a nice early update on some of those lines.
Yes.
And then we can talk more about it next week when I see him at 9 a.m. But Rob, great job today.
Thank you, brother.
Two first-time solo producer shifts. Very well done.
Thank you.
But we're going to take off here. We will see you back here in the UA Live Break Room at 3 p.m. Take care, everybody.